Website, and really good to have you with us tonight. Coming up, we will look back on the first Saturday of Pembrokeshire football, plenty of goals going in, and we'll review Haverfordwest County's battling performance against TNS, as well as rounding up the rugby with victories on the opening day for Crymych, Haverfordwest and Tenby, and a very narrow defeat for Narberth. We're keeping one eye on Bellamy Ball as well. It's going well for Wales in Montenegro, 2-0 up after 17 minutes, and we'll talk about some brilliant Pembrokeshire Paralympians. And we've got a guest coming on tonight as well. That's Alan Jones. He'll preview the 2024 Sport Pembrokeshire Awards on the day nominations officially open for this year's event. That's all on the way. So let's get going this Monday evening. Fraser, Gordon and Tom are with me. Fraser, have you ever done Montenegro away? I know you've done a few away games with Wales.
I haven't. Wish I had now, though. Although it's been teeming down with rain out there. But yeah, plenty of positives from Friday to take real accounts, and started very well here.
Yeah, they have 2 up, 20 minutes or so gone, and a good start for Bellamy and this new brand of football. I don't know, Gordon, I've never heard a 0-0 draw at home to Turkey lauded quite as much as Friday night's was.
Yeah, early days yet, Ben. Let's not get too excited about it. Bellamy might get a little bit excited. Right. I'm not excited at the moment. They've got a long way to go.
An excellent start, though, in the Nations League campaign, so we'll keep an eye on that. Tom, evening to you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I can still walk after 2 football performances in the last 5 days.
We might come to one of the comments Tom made, actually, after running the line last week for Broadhaven Reserves. Was that right, Tom?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, well, we'll save that for later. Let's get into the football, though, shall we? And it was the opening Saturday, wasn't it, of the season? Obviously, we've had midweek games across Pembrokeshire, but there's something about Saturday football that's a little bit different. And Fraser on the pitch, goals galore, really, weren't there?
Yeah, Hakin's still hammering them in. I actually was greatly shocked by that result. I thought the way Hakin started, they were favourites against Clarbeston Road, but to beat them 8-0, I think 5-0 within 20-25 minutes, it was incredible, to be honest. I mean, all the signs are that Hakin are very much back as the force they were initially under Scott Davis. I think from a Clarbeston Road point of view, they might have had a player missing or two. That's a bitterly disappointing result. We've spoken this year about them, building on that Senior Cup win and seeing if they can become title challengers. And it's been a difficult start for them, actually. And they will be disappointed under any circumstances to go to Hakin and be 5-0 down and game over that quickly. But yeah, shaping it well, and Tenby started as well ahead of playing Goodwick this Saturday. They're joint top on 10 points, so it's been an interesting start.
Yeah, Gordon, just on that one, Hakin 8, Clarbeston Road 0. Of course, as Fraser said, just a couple of months on from Clarbeston Road celebrating winning the Senior Cup. What does that say? Does it say more about Hakin or does it say more about Clarbeston Road? Because that's some win for Hakin to stick 8 goals past anyone, never mind the Senior Cup holders.
Yeah, well, I was down there for part of it, Ben, so I did see some of the performance, and I have to say that Scott has got Hakin playing some really tidy football. They're not a big side, but they pass the ball and move very quickly. Luby, Stotter, excellent players. Stotter had a hat-trick. Skinny, who was manager last season, he was playing up top because they weren't at full strength either, but he had 2 goals. Yeah, disappointing as far as Clarbeston Road are concerned because, as we've just said, we thought they were going to go on and do well in the league this season, but they haven't started too well. I know they did have a few players not playing on Saturday, but let's not forget last season they did the double over Hakin. So the Scott factor for the Vikings has certainly made a difference, to be fair. He's got them well organised and playing some cracking football, and they're scoring plenty of goals.
I just wonder if that 1-1 draw with Goodwick last week, I think what actually cost Hakin the title race the year before was not beating Goodwick in the 2 games when they played them. And I thought on Tuesday they had the more momentum going in, especially on 1-0 up as well. They scored so freely in the first 2 games. Goodwick didn't really fire on all cylinders the matches I saw against Tish and Clarby in the Cup. And I just wonder if Hakin sent an opportunity missed there.
Definitely. When you're home, Fraser, you need to win your home games. Yes, it was Goodwick, the champions, but they will feel that was 2 points they've lost at home. They've got to go to Goodwick now. Goodwick aren't playing particularly well at this moment in time, but it's still early stages. And you know what Sully is like. He'll grind out results.
Yeah.
They did on Saturday. They didn't play well. They scored an early goal. Scott Delaney scored an early goal after a minute. They didn't get their second till the 94th minute when Reece Jones put a penalty in the net. So they had a very difficult game at Bush Camp, and but they got the result. They got the 3 points. That's all that Sully would be interested in, is getting the 3 points, getting them over the line. And if you're not playing well and still winning, that's a good sign as well of a good side.
Yeah,
and they are a good side, and Hakin are a good side. And unfortunately, we're talking about a two-horse race already, and it's only four games into the
Tenby
season.
are up there.
Yeah, we'll see how Tenby do now over the next few weeks playing against the big boys. So it'll be interesting.
Gordon's called it, and let's see we get any Tenby comment on that, because 5 games in the two-horse race between Goodwick and Hakin, it's Tenby that top the table. And after 5 games, you can say, when you play 5, other teams have played 4 maybe, but the table does start to work itself out, does it not?
Yeah, I think I'm actually glitching at All Sport table, Ben. Tenby have played 4.
Okay. Well, even more so then.
They are still joint top there on 10 points. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Get home, obviously, this Saturday will probably be a much truer test of the credentials, but they have started well. That's all they can do, isn't it?
Okay. As to the rest then, let me just give the other results from Saturday. Merlin's Bridge 0, Carew 1, Milford United 2, Kilgetty 0, Moncton Swifts 4, St Ishmael's 1, and that 5-0 win for Tenby. Anything else jump out there for you chaps on Saturday?
You don't like to see it, about 2 teams who come straight back up. I already have grave worries for Branston. They've had a horrific run. I think they're already minus 20 odd in terms of their goal difference. If I could take a positive from it, I've looked quite closely at the makeup of their side. It is very young. There's a lot of teenagers involved there. So, it's going to have to be a case of sticking together this year and not panicking, I think, at the moment. And even if they do go back down, it doesn't always work out that way. We know that when teams have difficult years, boys do siphon off. But I already have a lot of worries about them in terms of staying up this year. Tish also on 0 points. I actually watched Tish and Goodwick, and I thought there were a lot of positives to take there. But they've just come up. You can't, only so long you can go without getting results. So it's looking bad for the 2 who've just come up at the moment, but Branston especially, I would already put big money in them going down, I have to say that.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. Just a couple to call out as well in Division 2, where there were plenty of goals as well. Narberth put 9 past Loreni, didn't they? 9-0 victory in Division 2. A couple of other scores there. Camrose 3, Merlin's Bridge 3, Carew 3, Monks and Swifts 0, Nayland 3, Johnston 1, and Solver 6, Broadhaven 2. So across the top 2 divisions, some entertaining football on Saturday.
Yeah, we maybe give Loreni a slight pass after the Harrison Allen Bowl. I think you give them a fortnight or 3 weeks. I know Joe Kidney's been playing, so I don't even know what state they were in. Maybe let them have this Saturday.
I have been told they're still celebrating. They're still on a bus tour going around the village.
Loreni hasn't stopped celebrating, has it, from that Harrison Allen? No, we will give them that. Absolutely right. Gord, good to have Saturday football back though in the county after the midweek matches.
Yeah, it's great to get back to our normal Saturdays. I did a bit of ground hopping. I went to watch the Bridge play Carew. Carew won that narrowly, and they're playing again this week. And then I popped down to Marble Hall as well to see Milford United. That was an interesting game against Kilgetty, and fair play to Milford United. They were leading by half time, and Scott Reed got a second in the second half, and they won 2-0 against a strong Kilgetty outfit, I must say. So that was a good result for them.
Excellent stuff. And your ground hopping on a Saturday does impress me, Gord, I have to say, because you do get round some grounds, you do get pitches, and you always give a great analysis of a game. And I always wonder, how do you time it? So do you move at half time?
I don't know. You just stay. What I tend to do is look at who scored, whoever that you can find out these days. Try and get a snap of them, and then move on. And then if somebody gets sent off or something, you get the cards and just move on. But I was quite impressed with the Hakin shot I had with young Kieran King turning around and the ball is in the back of the net and the keeper's stretched out with the ball. I quite like that one.
You got some good ones. Excellent
Hakin
work.
must liked it because they did pinch it off my website and used it for theirs. And I don't mind you using it, boys. Not a problem.
It's a compliment, Gord, isn't it? Absolutely. Yeah. For Haverfordwest County as well, they were beaten 1-0 on Saturday afternoon in Carmarthen, of course, against TNS. Tony Pennock actually said it's a sign of how far they have come, that they were quite disappointed with that result in the end, because they felt they could have taken something off TNS, which isn't a bad sign. It does end the unbeaten run at the start of the season, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, but like you say, very competitive, just playing to champions. They perhaps, I can understand why Tony's a bit disappointed, because they may have had an opportunity. Obviously, TNS had the European exploits and will actually now play in the Europa League this season, which be interesting to see how that impacts them. Actually, it'll take a lot out of them, and maybe it'll make for a more competitive title race.
They are a fully professional outfit. Right. It's different to the other semi-pro they work in, so it is their job. So they should be okay, I think, Fraser. They're a very strong outfit.
And is it worth saying as well, they did also get some help, didn't they? Because they had a delayed start to the season, which other sides haven't benefited from in the past. So it's great they've made it through, and it's good that they have had that support, Fraser. I think we picked this up. It's the right thing to do,
Absolutely.
And hopefully that's what happens going forward. Because if you want Welsh Premier sides playing in the knockout stages or the group stages, you've got to help them. And Haverfordwest didn't get that last season, did they?
No, a bit was made of that. I had no issue whatsoever with the league doing it, and like you've just pointed out there, as long as that's the precedent moving forward, and other teams are afforded the same treatment, then good. I'm all for it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think they've learned from that, to be honest, Ben, and that's why they've done it this season. And I'm sure every side that's involved in those competitions will be given a little bit of more time to sort out their season.
It's a journey to Flint for the Bluebirds this Saturday. Flint Town United away. That match is a 2:30 start, so good luck to Haverfordwest there. It wasn't just the return of football, of course, for our sides this weekend. Rugby was back as well. We start in the Premiership, and Narberth had a really close game, didn't they? They were away to Ystrad-Rhondda, wasn't it? And they lost by a single point, which is devastating on the opening day of the season, isn't it? To go so close away from home.
It's still a positive result, to be honest with you. Narberth are playing against sides that are probably stronger than what they were last season when they won their championship division. And it's good. It's good that they will have some testing opposition and it's nice to see there's a lot of local boys involved in that side now, whereas Narberth used to, and no disrespect to Narberth, they did it because other teams were doing it, but they had boys from the Llanelli and that sort of area, but it's mainly a Pembrokeshire based side, and that's good to see. And anybody who's any good and what has to aspire to playing at a higher level, and they can play at Narberth and enjoy their rugby in Pembrokeshire, and that's great.
And actually, Fraser, Liam Gadd did a great job last year, and he was a regular on Pure West Sport, and obviously they had a really good season, winning games left, right, and centre last year. You feel stepping up, this is maybe when he'll find out a bit more about some of those players, and it's great exposure for them playing at a higher level, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think I agree with Gordon, to get over 2 bonus points just by not winning is a very good start for them, and all the signs are they will be competitive, and good for them.
Yeah, we'll follow them. We also enjoy following Crymych as well on the show, and they've always put people forward to talk, and they've always been good. And they had a great start to the season, didn't they? On Saturday, 43-21 against Maesteg Quins, and that will boost their confidence so much to win on the opening day.
Yeah, and they'll eye a chance this season. I think obviously the league's slightly diluted now with this new format, and Narberth and a few of the stronger sides haven't gone up to it. So I think Crymych will feature strong this season. They're a tight knit unit now, and they've been together for a few years. So I'd fancy them to challenge this year.
Yeah, and we will follow their progress as well. And I think there were no games in Division 2. I think they start this coming Saturday, don't they? Yeah. But in Division 3, Haverfordwest 10, Cardigan 9. That sounded like a bit of a battle. Gord, did you get down there at all?
I couldn't fit that one in. I would have loved to have gone down to see my former club against Cardigan. I know from my playing days, Cardigan has always been a tough nut to crack. Cardigan fullback kicked 3 penalties, and they are physical games when you go and watch those matches. But great to see 2 Pembrokeshire sides go in head to head, and it was played on not the first team pitch at Haverfordwest. It was played on their second team pitch. Haverfordwest reseeded their first team pitch and put new, what's the word?
Grass?
Not grass. We have so much rain. Drainage is the word I'm looking for. They got new drainage in there as well. So they didn't want to turn it up, in the first game of the season.
Fair.
Because it would have been against Cardigans, because it's a battle royal, to be fair.
Absolutely.
It really is. So great result for Haverfordwest, but fair play to Cardigan. They got a bonus point for staying so close as well. So.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting division, that one.
10-9 sounds like a game that should have been played like back end of November, chucking it down with rain on a really muddy pitch, doesn't it, really? So well done to those sides in action. Division 2 kicks off this coming Saturday. Whitland home to Larne. And we've got Milford Haven.
That will be a tasty.
Yeah,
one.
that's
Very
a
interesting.
proper local derby, isn't it?
Proper tasty. Yeah, Pornkirk, look out for that one, mate.
Yeah.
Former teammates versus former teammates there. Friends versus friends.
And Milford Haven against Fishguard as well, a Pembrokeshire derby as well.
Pembrokeshire derby,
yeah. Great to have the rugby back in
Fishguard
play.
have just come away, I think, in pre-season from Milford with a 2-point win in the Pembrokeshire Cup, haven't they? 3-point win.
Okay.
So, tight again.
That'll be a nice game to watch.
Well, it's good to have it back, isn't it? Football and rugby back. Tom, you started off by mentioning a couple of games for you this season for Broadhaven.
Yeah, I've turned out against the Cricket Club seconds, and we played St Clair's reserves on Saturday. St Clair's were undefeated with a 16-goal plus difference, and we humbled them, I'm going to say.
Excellent stuff. And we will have to share what you said to us in our WhatsApp group last week. You ran the line, didn't you, for Broadhaven? Gordon said to you, what did you say, Gord? The score was
3-1.
3-1. And Tom, having come on as a sub and ran the line for the majority of the game, what did you think the score was, Tom?
I thought it was 3-0. And I remember when I finally had like three of you saying, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I flagged it." But the referee played on, and that's how long
He
after
overruled you.
He
He
overruled me.
Yeah.
He didn't even look. He didn't even see me until afterwards.
So it didn't count in your
You're
head.
right.
Yeah, exactly. Offside, ref. Offside. Save.
I thought it was because you were in the zone, Tom. You were getting ready to come on, but when you said you were running the line, I just okay. Big question as well: Has the sim bin had much use in the opening few rounds of games? Do we know?
Not for
I don't think
Broadhaven.
it's had quite the impact of the chaos we envisaged, so we'll say that.
No.
I think it has been used, but sparingly, to say the
Okay,
least.
maybe someone watching can confirm that. If there's anyone watching who has been sim-binned, we would like to hear from you. I'm sure Marty will be watching. Marty Jones might be able to tell us who the first person in Pembrokeshire was to go into the sim bin. You've got till 9 to get in touch to tell us. We will take a moment, and coming next, nominations have opened. I can't believe this because it's always a sign the seasons are changing. We're heading towards autumn. Nominations have opened for the 2024 Sport Pembrokeshire Awards. We've got Alan Jones coming on to tell us how organisation is going and why you need to nominate in one of the categories. So we will do that in part 2 of tonight's show next.
Eaton-Evans and Morris